Since couple of days, the oath ceremony of Prime Minister Modi is in news. And why is it a big news? Because Prime Minister Narendra Modi had taken oath for the third time. And along with the Prime Minister, there are a huge number of cabinet ministers who had also taken the oath. And this time we can see the diversity among the cabinet ministers. We have also leaders from marginal sections just like Chirag Paswan and Jitan Ram Manjhi. And we have also women leaders like Nirmala Sitharaman and Annapurna Devi. However, when you see the numbers of women cabinet ministers, which is very less in number, and around couple of women who had taken the oath as a cabinet ministers. Hello and welcome to the In Focus series of Drishti IAS. I am Ritu and today's session is about Modi 3.0 and cabinet minister. And this session is important for your GS2 perspective. So moving towards the news part. So first of all, we'll discuss the news. Then we are going to discuss why no more than 81 ministers. So here we are going to discuss the constitutional aspect of the cabinet ministers and also Modi's cabinet evaluation in past two terms. So here we'll have an analysis of past two terms and also the differences between the cabinet and councils of ministers. After that, we are going to study the practice question for prelims. Moving towards the news time. So, what is the news? So, you already know that yesterday Prime Minister Narendra Modi had taken the oath for the third time. And he has become the second Prime Minister after Jawaharlal Nehru, who had taken the oath for the third time. So, this is the biggest news. And this time we can see that huge number of cabinet ministers had taken oath and around 80 ministers had taken the oath, including the Prime Minister. So this is the news. We are going to discuss that why this number is huge and why only it is limited to the 80. So coming to the next one, which is about why no more than 81 ministers. So we have 80 ministers and one Prime Minister. So including Prime Minister, the strength should be ideally 81. So this is the time. We have this time 80, including the Prime Minister, the councils of ministers and Prime Minister. So why this number is this? Because this is the 15% of 543. So the total strength of the Lok Sabha is 543 seats and its 15% is 81. So you should not exceed the 15% data. So this is the thing. And according to the 91st Constitutional Amendment, these provisions had been made that the total number of cabinet ministers and councils of ministers should not exceed the 15% in the Lok Sabha and also in the state legislature. So this is not just limited to the Lok Sabha. The state legislatures had to also follow this rule. So this is the thing. Then we come to the next one, which is about Modi's cabinet evolution in past two terms. So this time we can see a variety of cabinet minister, though we don't know yet that what is the portfolio given to different kind of ministers. But we can see that around 80 ministers had taken oath. So why this number is huge this time? The first reason can be that coalition government. And because of the coalition government, it is the pressure and it can be what you can say a duty and responsibility of the largest political party to accommodate all the political parties and to appoint leaders from them. Because if they will not support to the coalition government, then Prime Minister Narendra Modi cannot become a Prime Minister. So it's very important to show their representation in the councils of ministers. So the first reason is the coalition government. And also there can be that diversity could be shown. And why diversity could be shown? Because if you want to remain as a political party and biggest political party and influential political party, you need to show the diversity. Like you need to include the numbers of leaders from marginal community, from SC, ST, OBC communities. So that's why the number is huge. So when we see that in 2014 election, so Narendra Modi government began with the councils of ministers of 45 members. And later they had also added 21 new members. So it can reshuffle also and they can also shuffle the portfolio. And in 2019, what we have seen that they had started with the Council of Ministers of 58 members. So from 45, they had started with the 58 members. And this time it is 80 members. So it's because in these two terms, the BJP was in the full majority, but in these terms, the BJP lacks the majority. So that's why it's very important to accommodate other leaders as well, and also show the diversity in the councils of ministers. Here we come to the crucial question that what is the difference between the cabinet and the councils of ministers. So this is very much important for examination perspective and for the normal general understanding also. So first, this is about the cabinet minister and this is about the councils of minister. So what is the difference between these two? The cabinet consists many senior ministers including defense, home affairs and education, while it consists the important ministers also, the deputy ministers and state ministers also. So it is not just limited to the important ones. Then we come to that it means the cabinet got the constitutional status in 1978, but it is already a constitutional body. So this is the second difference. Then we come to the third difference. The cabinet consists some of the most experienced ministers and prime minister usually take advice from them. Here also the prime minister takes advice from them, but not necessarily that every time or for everything the prime ministers have to take advice from this thing. Then we come to that collective responsibility. So it enforces the collective responsibility to the councils of its members. Here the collective responsibility to the lower house of the parliament, which is the Lok Sabha. Then we come to the another one, which is cabinet meets as frequently because they discuss the issues related to the national importance. Here the frequent meetings are not that usual, it is rare in nature. Then coming to the last point, which is the size of the cabinet is about 15 to 20 ministers. It means that if you have 80 ministers, then cabinet could be 15 to 20 or 10 also. So it depends upon different governments and different political parties. But here it can vary up to 81. It can be 40, 50, 60. So up to 81 it can vary. So this is the difference between the cabinet and councils of ministers. Coming to the next one, which is about the practice question prelims, and this question is very much simple. So they're asking question for the councils of ministers. So here you should not confuse with the cabinet ministers. And the first statement is it is a constitutional body, and the second one is it enforces collective responsibility to the lower house of the parliament. Here they're asking the correct one, and your options are 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. So you have to answer this into the comment section. And you have to also find out that if the portfolios were allotted to the different kind of cabinet ministers and what you can say councils of ministers, then you have to find out and differentiate between the different portfolios, because it's very important that whose portfolio is given to whom, and is there representation of different political parties or not, is there representation of marginal section or not, women or not, because these things are very much important, because cabinet ministers, councils of ministers represents the people of this country. So it's very important that diversity should be maintained among their numbers. So that's it for today's session. I hope you like this session. If you have any queries related to this session, kindly ask in the comment section. Thank you.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.